Dear Mom, family members, friends, and most specifically Palestinian friends,
There are so many videos about information, disinformation, propaganda, etc., etc. But every morning I go through Twitter or X to see what is happening around the world. And I like looking at feeds from real people, real situations, rather than the mainstream media. And even actually speaking to different people around the world and their different opinions. The great thing about being friendly is people are friendly back to you and they sort of respect you in that way, but obviously you have to respect them. So when I was on Twitter this morning, I found this gentleman who actually really made sense. And I thought, wow, this guy is amazing. Now, let's have a look at the first bit.
bombarding me with angry messages everywhere. I am not anti-Palestine. I am anti-Hamas, anti-terrorism. Palestinians are my brothers and sisters. I went to school in Yemen with many Palestinian refugees. But here's the plot twist. Israelis are also my brothers and sisters.
Now, obviously, this guy is very well educated. I can guess maybe, yep, he comes from Yemen. That's fine, no problem. But maybe lucky enough to go and study in the United States because his English is actually really good. Or some school, maybe in the Middle East, like in Dubai or like Abu Dhabi, where you would have native English speakers there. But regardless of that, the opening statement in the first 30 seconds, near enough, is just a big wow. And hats off to this guy because I have total respect for him. Now, of course, you can agree or disagree. We live in a free society. Well, many of us do. Some don't, unfortunately. But let's continue what he has to say.
And that does not sit right with many of you. See, I grew up my entire life caring about Palestinians and demonizing Israelis. Thankfully, I grew up and I had the chance to meet Jews and Israelis outside of Yemen. And that opened my human eyes. I have also come to understand and care for Israelis. Israelis are human beings, just like Palestinians, and they are worthy of peace and love. This has been the centerpiece of what I've been saying all along, pushing for coexistence and peace. I have not taken part in the war.
I would find it very hard for anyone to disagree with this. Yeah. Coexistence. This is what we need. Is it going to happen? Well, the thing is, this guy has got hundreds of thousands of views. Hence, this is why I put it on my channel. And I would love you to share this video with your friends if he makes sense to you.
Discourse. I have only taken part in the human discourse. My Yemeni culture, the schools I studied in, the mosques I prayed in, stripped me of my humanity. And I am proud of having regained my humanity and sharing it with people. It is not bad timing to express this. On the contrary, in times of hatred and division, when I see millions of my Arab and Muslim brothers and sisters popularize Jew hatred and the destruction of Israel, it is more important than ever for me to voice support for Israelis and Jews.
The thing is, I think he speaks for the world, regardless of your religion, regardless of what you agree or disagree with, whether you are Jewish, whether you are Muslim, Sikh, Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, Catholic, whatever. Coexistence. Now, I'm going to let the video run for the next couple of minutes, and I think you'd be nodding your head and would agree. And I'd find it very strange if you didn't. Let's continue.
I am not a war expert, I'm not a war analyst, and I don't delve into these subjects because I have no knowledge about them. And I do not pretend to have any knowledge about them. What I do know, however, is that Hamas are cold-blooded terrorists. They are our enemy. They are Israel's enemy and they are the Arab and Muslim community's enemy. It does not take a war analyst to understand this. I have seen the footage. I have spoken to plenty of October 7 survivors in Israel, and everything they had to say sent a chill down my spine. Hamas are no freedom fighters. They are terrorists. They kill their own people. They slaughter Israelis. They behead and rape women. There is no difference between the terrorism of ISIS, Hamas, and Al-Qaeda. And saying all of this is not a defense of Israel's war in Gaza. These are just facts. Calling these terrorists freedom fighters or liberation fighters is a part of a disinformation propaganda that has succeeded. Hamas is the one who wants to continue this war. They are the ones who started it, and they are the ones who keep on promising to repeat October 7th. This needs to be understood to understand the extremism that we are fighting and dealing with. And by we, I mean us. Arabs, Muslims, Palestinians. We have to fight the extremism and language of violence that is inbred in our society, in our mosques, and our schools. Like I keep saying, the enemy is not out there. The enemy is within.
I wish everyone a happy day, and I would again implore you to message this to your friends. Just click the link and then email it, message it on your social media, because I think this guy really needs to get out and about in the community. Everything he said makes sense, and his experience, you could say, of being raised in Yemen, his experience of being with Jews and Muslims, his experience possibly of being educated in the United States or the UK or a really good school in the Middle East, brings him as a open-minded, and as he said, he lost his humanity but he regained it. There are so much, as I repeat at the very beginning, there's so much propaganda related to the good and the bad, which country is right, which is wrong. A lot of people on my poll that I put in said they didn't agree with which one to support, but they actually put in, I support world peace. And I think most people do. It's only the extremists and the nutcases and the fruitcases who would go the weird way and miss out the real facts of what's happening in the real world. Let's leave it there for today. I wish you a happy day, and please post some comments. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, etc, 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 and please do check your subscription if you got this far in the video. Thank you so much for your time. The enemy is within. I think that's what he said. God bless. Thank you. Shukran.